Good evening. This is Sullivan P. Hickman, Chief Director and Meteorologist at CRF. I have been tasked, along with 4 other very talented and like-minded individuals, to investigate the as of recent electromagnetic pulses that have been happening across the globe. Usually, for things like this, I would have a modest team of 20. However, it seems that this is being kept under wraps, which explains why there's only 5 of us. Myself and my colleagues: Victor Newman, aerospace scientist; Jesse J. Scott, chemicalist expert; Dean Hopkins, a fellow meteorologist; and Sophie H. Wilkinson, a very brilliant mind spearheading this project. We are situated in the O9 facility. This building was constructed in Poland specifically for us and this project. Our project? To record and monitor these electropulses and send a series of satellites into space to hopefully dampen and eradicate the anomaly. These pulses range from deactivating appliances, vehicles, electrical currents in buildings, and causes migraines and headaches if directly in contact with humans. Our current goal is to figure out when and why this started and if there's any sense to the chaos on where these are happening. I will be documenting our findings and recording them in logs at the beginning of each month. This is log 001, recorded at 5:05 p.m. on the 10th of September 2003. This is P. Hickman. End of log. Sullivan P. Hickman here. Our research is going at a very steady pace. We have figured out when these pulses started, 1998, and we are currently in the year 2003, which means this has been happening for almost 5 years, right under our noses. We've noticed as well, which has caused some theories among my colleagues, that these have been happening near churches and abandoned areas. Sophie thinks they are angels, while Victor thinks it's extraterrestrial life trying to make communications with us. Me? I think it's just a global anomaly. Nothing more, nothing less. We haven't got any critical evidence on what any of it is anyways. We have noticed these pulses will be more likely to happen at around the night and in quiet areas, but we have more than enough information to send our first and most important satellite into Earth's orbit, ERO-1, or known as Electromagnetic Reader, the first iteration. The satellite will help us monitor any and all abnormal electrical pulses. If this expedition is fruitful, we will send a second, much bigger satellite to the moon, as one of our most compelling theories is that they are coming from there. I am a bit concerned about Dean. It has been 3 weeks and he hasn't shown up at all. A week before, however, his sudden absence, he was suffering with breathing problems and insomnia, as well as a nasty rash on his back, so I sent him home. I haven't heard from him since, and I'll probably send someone to check up on him tonight. This was log 002, recorded at 10:26 p.m. on the 3rd of November, 2003. Signing off. P. Hickman. The satellite has been gathering heaps of really valuable data. All of these pulsars have the exact same electrical input and output, and seem to be getting more fascinating by the day. For example, some of them won't even affect anything electrical. Some of them even affect organic bacteria and plantations, especially nocturnal mold, like the black mold you find in abandoned structures and various fungi. However, what I find the most perplexing is out of all of these electro pulses, Some of them last for 2 seconds to 38 hours. This one, however, appeared 4 days ago and hasn't disappeared. It's also the only one that moves around. We have been recording this one's actions ever since its discovery. It mainly bounces between Poland, Canada, Germany, England, and Egypt. Most recently, it was in Poland, in an abandoned apartment complex, and this time we decided to send a small team down there to investigate. All they found was some guy exploring abandoned buildings. We've brought him in for questioning, but as it turns out, they've seen nothing out of the ordinary. Except for one thing. That black mold that I have mentioned earlier seems to be growing on plants and dead animals in the area. We've brought some in for sample testing, and Jesse is running tests. We're hoping this will help us understand what's going on, because the more I think, the more it seems supernatural. I think I might be getting ahead of myself. This log is getting long anyways. This was Sullivan on log 003, recorded at 3:52 a.m. on the 4th of October 2003. End of log. Just a week after the third log, Dean was pronounced dead in his own home, engulfed in that black mold. I'm still shaking as I'm recording this. We're all a bit on edge at this point. We have all been pat tested and decontaminated. Hell, we didn't want to take any chances and ran through it 3 more times just to make sure. Jessie is taking extra precautions with researching whatever the hell this is, and this seems to make her more motivated to do her research. Victor has developed a series of satellites to start the dampening process. We are way too early into our research to know what the hell these things are, but they seem to be getting more dangerous. Anything electronic is now short-circuiting and setting on fire. People are beginning to have seizures and dying from these pulses. And that one. I've seen it skulking outside the facility. It's the same damn one we've been recording, and I think it's responsible for the mold. No, that seems ridiculous. But, on another note, Sophie has been acting strange as of lately. She's been more short-tempered than usual, and despite her productivity not changing for the worse, she has been going on these walks of hers. Each one has been getting longer and longer. Recently, she just came back from a 7-hour walk. And me? I feel like I'm being watched. Ever since we started this, I've always had this small feeling that someone or something was looking at me. At first, it was incredibly easy for me to brush off, but now I feel like something bad is about to happen. Or maybe it's already happening. All I know is that it's all going to erupt in our faces, one way or another. When it comes to research in general, I feel like not talking about it. With the death of an old friend, I feel like it desensitizes the mourning process. But for his sake, recently we have found brainwaves similar to humans in the electromagnetic pulses. I'm starting to believe these are not just abnormalities anymore. For the next couple of months, we'll be on our own. Just the 4 of us. This is because, as of recently, one of our main facilities at CRF has had a breach, and 6 of our experimental Neurotech surveillance androids have just disappeared. We are currently working with Neurotech officials and some of our higher-ups to get this sorted out. So all hands are on deck, and we are trusted on our own. Now, I am a man of logic, but something tells me that those things have something to do with it. I will try to get a log in for next month. For now, this has been Sullivan, and this is log 004, recorded at 8:25 a.m. on the 17th of November. End log. Hello, this is Victor Newman. Sullivan is currently looking for Sophie. Don't know the events of what happened, but they were just talking and suddenly she stopped, got up and walked out into the forest. She just kept going and we thought she would be back, but after a couple of minutes, Sullivan went looking for her. I thought I would try and ease some of the work off of him and record this log while he goes out and looks for her. Hopefully with some better news. Jesse is working on the mold and I'm almost done with Project Zeus. We just need Sullivan and Sophie back to finalise a couple of things. That's all we need. But I've just got this itching feeling. I just can't help but feel like what we're doing, all of this, is way beyond our understanding. Like, for God's sake, just yesterday I saw Sullivan? Victor? Well, did you find her? Unfortunately not. Well, where is she then? I don't know. What are you doing with my recorder? Oh, well, I thought to get the workload off of you, I would record a log myself. Doesn't matter. I'm getting Jesse. Well, go get Jesse then. This is Victor and Sullivan, ending log 005. Recorded at around 11 p.m., I would guess, on the 2nd of December. She isn't in her room. She's gone. What do you mean she's gone? I don't know. She was just down there a couple minutes ago. This is Sullivan. The satellites have been deployed. It's just me and Victor. I just want to go home. The poor kid is on edge. Sophie and Jesse are pronounced missing, and a manhunt has been issued for them. We're going back to Canada tomorrow, and for the purpose of security, this building will be knocked down. The satellites at bare minimum should do their job and should give us the ability to monitor them 10 times more efficiently. Victor just left and I was paranoid, so I kept in contact with him and made sure he was able to get home safely. As for me, I'm the only one here at the moment. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a bit scared. When I was a kid, I had a fear of butterflies. I don't know why. I was just terrified of them. But one day I thought of studying them, and at some point I wasn't scared of them anymore. Then I developed a knack for being obsessed with things I had a fear of. Spiders, fire, natural disasters like tornadoes and tsunamis. I eventually became a meteorologist, and was headhunted by the Canadian Research Foundation. By definition of a butterfly effect. I did it. Who's there? Show yourself. Sophie? Is that you?
Our Father, the stars, they cry. They're abandoned, and you know why. Because of your shame. However, they're just like angels. They're not lost in the dark. They are the light. When your mistake, your humanity failed, you ran. We were left without a parent. And now I have to fix what you've done and make this right. They are a disgusting disease, wanting nothing more than to plunder and rip apart what they please. And I wanted to fix it. Fix something. But I embraced it. And now I'm ensnared like a vicious web, intertwined in a choir of mistakes. But at least I'm not in the dark. I am the light. But I'm stuck in the mold that rots in the blight of humanity's heart. I wanted to fix you, but now I embrace you. You're like an ache, a part of humanity that you hoped for. And I'm just a speck in your world. But I will change them for the better. I will make this